Okay, so this is a scrim from Emmy. Lijiang, Lucio point of view. They're running Lucio, Zen, Reinhardt. This is weird. I don't know why you would run this comp other than it might be an old patch. I don't know what patch this is on or whatever. So right off the bat, I would say like I don't know why you wouldn't run Ana with this comp, but this is a good comp in general. It's a good fighting comp. But I'd probably like prefer you just to run Ana, just because there's no reason not to at this point because you're running Reinhardt.
Okay, I'll go hog then.
I'll focus more on the Lucio gameplay this time than like anything else. I don't really care about the composition so much as how he positions himself.
Yeah, right, that's what Reynard is safe. Be nice.
What is this puppy?
Flanking heroes. Racer or like
I'll
that.
change the red defense, John.
I had a tick on my dog.
Straight high.
I don't know the bracket. I just know FaZe beat Liquid.
Monkey's
Yeah,
low.
monkey is low.
This is good. You're on speed. I don't mind that you're on speed.
Come front, no, kill them.
Your team's game plan's pretty good here. I would say right now you should be worried about the stuff in the back of you. Like I don't know if I like actually teams don't do this enough. If a Winston jumps you in the back, like his cooldown's pretty high. I think it's like what 5-6 seconds or something for a Winston pounce. Like they just kind of ignore him and go. That's not exactly the worst response because now they don't have a shield. Like they're abusing their Reinhardt right now and their Mei. They have a very tanky lineup. The fact that you kill the enemy Ana is huge because now they won't have ult. I guess your Reinhardt charged and killed her. It was a pretty big deal. But yeah, I thought it was kind of cool that you kept the amp for after the Roadhog goes. But right now you should definitely be on heals. Like your teammates, yeah.
Get the
Teammates are like eating.
Got the Lucio.
someone take the point. One support.
I'm on the point. I'm on the point.
This is good. You're getting your ult very fast. Like this is a very fast sound barrier if you get it right now.
Come back, Silk.
I'm on the point, guys. Reynard.
You're on. I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't pick up health packs as Lucio. I feel like you should just be on heal right now and just keeping yourself and your teammates alive. Like speed boost is good and all, but I feel like you could have ult actually right now.
I got the Lucio.
Everyone ran outside.
Maybe your teammates wouldn't be dead. Like I think you actually could have just gotten sound barrier before this fight went on. Like I agree that you should die right now for sure because your team's all dead and like there's no point in sound barriering 3 people. But I feel like you guys had such an advantage from all the damage that you guys took without dying that you should have been able to get sound barrier there. Like if you hadn't grabbed the health pack and just switched to heal and just stayed in the courtyard and kept everyone alive, you definitely could have had ult. And you probably could have just popped it to save your entire team because there's actually no way that their Lucio would have had ult as fast as you did. If you have a Ryan when the monkey jumps, is it better for your Lucio to speed your team past and kill them or have the Ryan damage block and kill the monkey first? I mean, it's preference. It depends on the positioning of the Reaper, I think. Like the Reaper wasn't in a position to save the supports in the back. The Reaper was really far pushed up, so it's actually probably better for them to have speed boosted past the Winston to go for the kills. So I agree with their idea and like how they approached it. I just think that he should have been on heal that entire time in the courtyard and just getting his ult and then calling for it. I think if he goes back in time and has sound barrier, his whole team could have just been outside in the courtyard and they could have just popped sound barrier and they would have just won instantly and there would have been no contention.
Going right or straight? No, don't go right now. Let's go straight. No Lucio there.
Like that Ana had just gotten nano boost when they popped it right there. It wasn't like they had it the whole time. Right here, this is risky. You don't wait for the bubble to go down before you push in. I feel like you should have because you almost didn't get your ult off. Like you might have not gotten people behind you inside the bubble. You probably didn't get people behind you inside the bubble.
The monkey somewhere. I don't know where he went.
And right now you should be trying to look for kills on the ledges, like try to knock people off the map and stuff. Take a look at their comp and figure out what can one-shot you. Just the Hanzo, really. I guess the Reaper if he hits like a crazy headshot, but that's pretty rare.
Point, no? Silk. They have black hole and
What teams are these? Is a sub VOD. It's not a professional team. It's one of my subs is, I guess, like team Scrim, like a lower level team. This is good though. I like this. Like people don't do this enough. I don't think. Just spam corners to try to get your ult faster. I mean, you're never gonna get a kill right here, but it's definitely worth it to have the ability to like get your ult. You were never gonna win this fight. That trans was a little too late. If they had popped the trans a little bit faster, you might have been able to hold. But I feel like you guys should have anticipated that a little bit better. But Nano Booster Reaper, there's not much you can do. I don't think your positioning could have made a difference there at all. Now your team wants to go upper. Right here, you like stop shooting for some reason. Like you should be trying to break this bubble. Like even like every bit of damage is good, but your aura is not even hitting your teammates right now. So even though you're on speed, which I think you should immediately be switching to healing, you need to be doing damage to this Winston bubble, or at least getting out of it as fast as possible. Because none of your team is actually getting the speed boost right now. Because the Winston bubble blocks the line of sight from the Lucio aura. And you see how it's like cracked? I feel like if you were just shooting it the whole time, you would have been able to have like gotten it.
He fell down from up, I guess.
Oh, you're dead. I think you could have just switched to heal or amped heals and killed the bubble, and you might have been able to have made a better fight out of that. Because losing that fight's pretty big because you guys didn't have like ult advantage because you got wiped, so now you really don't have ult advantage. Like now you guys are fighting a very uphill battle for the duration of this.
Is everyone here? Jumping down?
Just speed boost and get the hands out first.
Okay, speed boosting now. Speed boosting now.
You should be switching to heals right now. Like keep that Mei alive and stuff.
I don't have ult. I don't have ult.
Yeah, like you guys took way too long, and this whole thing took way too long because of that like really bad push. Your comp really shouldn't be losing, but it's because they have Ana and you have Zen, and this is pre-patch. I don't know why you wouldn't run Ana against... I don't know why you wouldn't run Ana if you're going to run a Reinhardt. And I think that this is just a compositional thing that's like getting you guys killed, because they're going to have Nano Boost before you have Transcendence every single time. And you guys burned your Transcendence to try to counter the Nano Boost last time that they popped Nano Boost, and they're obviously going to have Nano Boost faster than you have Trans every single time, because that's just how the heroes work. So you guys kind of really boned yourself for 2 fights by not having an Ana, and then even if you had sound barrier there, which I don't know if you could have had sound barrier, but you probably could have if you hadn't taken that fight into the Winston bubble. Like now you're just like you put yourselves in like way too big of a hole after that. But I think it's just a compositional thing. I think if you're gonna run Reinhardt, you definitely should have an Ana. Transcendence isn't gonna like save your life or anything.
It's alright, we'll get the second point now, we know what.
But you still don't have ult, and it's been like 3 fights. 3 minutes or something.
We need someone to go on the Hanzo.
Really hard.
Low at the end. He was low at the end.
We don't have anyone close to close the gap. They have Winston's jumping on us.
Like their comp's not actually that good. They're running Hanzo. I think Hanzo is pretty good against your comp because you're running like comp that doesn't want to be insta-give, so every time they get a scatter arrow kill, it's a pretty big deal. But now I guess the Genji makes a little bit more sense, but if you're gonna run Genji, why wouldn't you just run Winston? Your comp's a little messy in my opinion. Like you don't really have any heroes that are good with Reinhardt.
Straight and left.
You just like have a Reinhardt for the sake of having a Reinhardt.
There's a Reaper here on the left.
I need help.
Kill the Reaper or the...
Your Reinhardt goes in there, your team should totally be up there with him. The second that your Reinhardt goes in, your entire team should have 100% just charged in with him. Now they're staggering in and like feeding. If the Reinhardt's going to charge, your whole team has to charge. It can't be like just the Reinhardt. Like you put the Reinhardt in a really bad position. I mean, the Reinhardt put himself in a bad position, but if the Reinhardt's going to do that, your team has to do it with him.
Monkey mid.
Now you guys are gonna try to retake this point. That was a really bad nano boost from them, so it's pretty good for you guys, I guess. What are you doing, puppy?
Hanzo's taking shots.
How much for y'all?
Can we like slowly try to?
But you're not hitting tab enough to like see what your ult situation is. Like you don't actually have any idea what's happening on your team. Like if you had known that you had Graviton there, maybe you would have asked for it. Maybe your team would have asked for it. But you can't afford to be losing fights back to back, especially once you lose the first one.
This fight, no?
Like you can take a dry push and try to bait out ults, but now you guys are just gonna have to like fight this very, very deep uphill battle. Because they're gonna have Graviton for sure by now.
Where do you guys wanna go?
And they haven't used it yet, so your next push is probably gonna be into a Graviton.
Go for the side.
I also don't know why you insist on not healing right now. Like you just ate a scatter arrow, why not just heal it up?
There's big backline.
Like speed boost is good for sure, but is it better than
Coming, Reaper still coming.
getting ult? I don't think so.
Rahul, do you have ult now?
Yes.
That was very knee-jerk reaction, and you should not have ulted there at all. Like you can watch the kill feed from your point of view, and you like have a very good understanding of what's happening.
Reaper on me.
Like you get this kill on, you see 2 kills top right. That means it's 4v6.
Reaper from behind. Reaper from
You see the Winston, you see the Ana die. Now it's 3v5 because your Zenyatta just died. You know that this Winston's gonna die.
coming. Reaper still coming. Reaper still coming.
So now the Lucio's dead, and all you have is the Winston with half HP and 1 Reaper. And your whole team's not super healthy, but they're healthy enough that you could just amp heals right now. So like this is just a burned ult that you didn't need to use. And like this is pretty hard to, like you shouldn't have used this at all, to be honest. You could have amped heals and had the exact same
They have to fight, you come on the point, no.
impact in that fight. And now you could have sound barrier when they push in, but now you don't, so you're just gonna get farmed. And since they're running nano boost and Reaper, you need like some form of ults to keep your team alive. Like your Zenyatta can't be dead there.
My eyes.
But you were already down to players, so you guys didn't really want to pop trans there anyway, because you probably weren't going to win the fight regardless. But now that you burned sound barrier, you guys have to make this transcendence work. And if you don't make this transcendence work, you're going to have a really hard time.
He's dead.
Although their team's just kind of feeding into you.
Not using any ult. Just
Let him,
hold
let
it.
him.
Oh,
Got the Reaper.
like they just fed. Now you just get a free point. You don't have to do anything.
He jumped off.
Let's hold it, guys. 90%. We have to hold it hard. Back up and hold.
Still go on.
But they're gonna have sound barrier, or not sound barrier. They're gonna have nano boost again or Reaper again. So you guys have to make your trans like you have to like really get this sound barrier as fast as possible. Like right now, you should not be on speed at all because you have to build this sound barrier. Like you getting sound barrier is actually a huge deal for your team. Like I don't know why you're on heals so like not much at all. I don't know why your teammates are feeding there. I guess that wasn't a bad. Genji. Look at that Reaper ult from above top. Got 3k.
Got him.
Behind
Behind
us.
Reaper. Behind Reaper.
So that was good. Your Reaper made a big play there. And it like gives you guys a lot more time. That was a really big play from the Reaper actually.
Way too upfront.
I thought it was feeding, but I didn't see the triple kill.
I have ult.
Do do do. So now you're not hitting tab. Yeah, like hold tab more, I think, because I don't even know if you have time to read the ults. Maybe you do.
I don't have any ult.
You guys should have Graviton right now, and that's all you should really need to use. Graviton and Genji Blade.
You can ult now.
Pushed off the Reaper.
They popped 3 ults into the Graviton. You guys were never going to survive that. Dragon Blade plus Reaper ult, it doesn't matter how good Transcendence is, it's not going to save you. So that was just a good play on their part, I guess. Like I don't know if they knew that that was going to happen, but that's a pretty secure way to get a team fight. Like that's just a lot of damage, damage over time. But you still don't have ult. Like you're not getting your ult fast enough at all. You've gotten maybe 1 ult this entire game, and it was the one that you burned. Not good, I would say. Bad at the end of the day. Like you definitely want to have ult more than once per round, or else like why run Lucio, I guess? Like the speed aura is cool and all, but if your Zenyatta has ult already, you should be saying to your Zenyatta like stop healing, like I'll just heal.
It doesn't
Not
matter
like
what you run unless
trying to play the speed aura only kind of hero and like never have sound barriers.
No, last time twice we made Nabu and like got him. Yeah.
What builds Lucio all quick? Yeah, boosted heals. Like your teammate should be eating damage for you, or like you have second heals to a Zenyatta. Like that's not really a thing. I mean, maybe the Transcendences could have been good, but I'm not really sure what a good healing amount is per round. But I think 2,000 per round is too low. Like you only have 4,000 healing.
Go fight. Go take a fight.
Lucio discarded.
One left. Reaper, right, Reaper.
Like even right now, you take like all this damage, and your teammates are taking damage, and you're like still on speed.
Got the Reaper.
Anzo snipe me from the left. Widowmaker here. Widowmaker.
Speed assist build ult. No.
She got me.
Take the point. Take the point. Cypher on. Stand on the point, please.
They pulled her out.
Now they're switching to Widowmaker because you guys have Pharah, or they just switched to Widowmaker anyway. But Widowmaker kills you. All right, you're at 17%.
They're trying to push him.
They've got a tracer now.
Tracer in mid room.
Where's the Lucio? Where's our heal?
Snapping heals. Tracer here on the right. On me and Zen. Dead.
You just got like 18% in one fight. And like right now, I'd prefer if you were just playing more aggressive. Like once they get 2 or 3 kills, you could probably be trying to like bot people off the map and stuff.
Widow on the left.
Like you're playing super passive like this entire round, and it's hurting you because you're not doing damage with your left clicks. Like even there too, like you should be behind the Roadhog. Like that Roadhog should never leave line of sight.
Come back, guys. Why are you going there?
Like you're playing so scared right now, but you can't afford to be playing this scared.
Get the point. You need to contest the point.
Can't contest it now. That's just.
Got the Reaper. Only four of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna change it now.
Like that was good. You like went in and baited yourself, and then the what's it called? The Pharah got the ult off, but
So stay on the left. Go on the right.
Yeah, don't fight.
you're only gonna get one. You're only on route to get like one sound barrier,
Got her.
and you've only healed 600 health this entire round.
The left.
I feel like you should have healed more because you have Zarya Roadhog.
Yeah, take a fight. There's no widow.
Have I? I'm going to use
Look, kill the Zarya. Kill the Zarya.
Even right now, like you're not shooting anything. Like you should be shooting. Like spam your gun down the hallway. Like you're not actually doing anything right now. You're just like looking.
Come to the point where you're staying.
Like if you're not holding mouse 1, I don't know why you're not holding mouse 1. Like if you're gonna play Lucio, just try to farm your ult, even if it means putting out guard. Like that's good. Like just keep doing that.
Left room.
They're all trying to come.
Widow's on the right.
Yeah, he's been amping speed a little bit too much. Like you still don't have ult. It's been an entire round of Koth, and you're not gonna have ult at this rate.
Okay, bought some time there.
Zarya on point.
Now you're amping heals during a transcendence, so like that's not good. Yeah, like you only got one ult the entire round. I mean, you guys won it 100-0, but you're not like you're not contributing as much as you could be, like at all for sure. He's scared of the Widow. I mean maybe, but the Widow still killed him twice, so I don't know if that's actually like valid. Ian, he wasn't scared of the Widow the first 2 rounds. Like even this round, I'm sure he'll play too passive.
Against Hanzo. And he's gonna switch to Mech 3.
Is this last season? No, I don't know. I can't tell you that. I don't have timestamps. Probably not, because that guy's level 700 or something.
Going mid. Snapping heals.
It might be though.
Jump into them.
But I don't know why you wouldn't run Anna.
Play around.
Monkey low. Monkey dead.
Monkey dead.
Okay, done.
Lucio discarded.
Oh, shit.
Snapping heals.
Reaper
Reaper low.
discarded.
Reaper low behind. Silk, you need to come out.
I
Anna
need
discarded. Anna discarded.
Still amping
Need
heals.
heal.
Still amping heals. Point. Someone point. I'll get point.
Alright, nice one, you got him.
They're coming in.
It's just 3
Draw
guys.
me.
Reaper low.
Lucio's dead.
Take the fight.
Yeah, they put me to sleep.
Monkey low. Monkey dead. Boop.
Nice book.
Anna low. One hit.
It's like these are good comms. These are like just easy game, I guess.
I'm gonna hold.
Your positioning was really good there, and like you spammed the entire time, and you got 2 kills and like a shit ton of damage, and now you have ult already. Like you already have ult. Like see the difference if you actually do damage and like keep your teammates up, like just spamming the amp. Like you had ult before the first fight was even over. Like this is the same amount of ults you got in the entire second round, or like that last round, that third round. Like now you have this to counter the Reaper, but it's not gonna matter because the Winston bubble blocks half your ult. I don't think you should be trying to pop sound barrier though to counter nano boost. Like nano boost or Reaper will out damage your sound barrier anyway. Your team doesn't have any stuns. So you guys should realize that you don't have any stuns and just accept the fact that a nano boost or Reaper is just gonna walk at you and get kills. Sound barriering to try to stop a nano boost or Reaper is just not good. Like it's not gonna work.
Am I gonna jump
You need like an Earth Shatter. You need like more shield. You need a flashbang or something.
Use that. Use. Killing the Reaper.
Monkey low. Monkey altered. Monkey still low. Monkey still low.
Capture the point.
We got it.
We don't have anything for the next fight.
Anyone close? Anyone close?
Hold them here. Hold them here.
We can try to give them little damage on the door, but yeah, chill, fine. Back off now.
I don't think they have anything either.
Like even right now, you're postured in such a way that you can't actually see anything. Like it's cool that you're waiting for them to push here so you can try to bop them off. Like you should be able to just get a kill right now if the Zarya pushes up.
They're coming from mid. They're coming from mid. Come back.
But even right now, like just be on heals.
I got the Zarya.
Like you definitely would have lived there if you had amped heals instead of speed. Like you keep amping speed all the time and I don't really understand why. Like every second that you live, like
Now
it's
we
good.
use RFT and take it off without.
Like you had ult when the clock was at 10%, so that's like what, 15 seconds into the game you already had ult, and then now you're like chugging to try to get ult because you're not actually healing ever.
There's a Reaper.
Like every second that you don't heal,
Kill
He's low, he's low.
that Reaper.
not good. See how fast you get ult just by putting it on heal? Like you just got 30%.
McCree first.
Yeah, I got the
McCree.
Truth care.
Ulti. I jumped on the McCree, they ulted, so yeah.
Don't die.
Amp heals, amp heals, amp heals, amp heals.
Lucio has his ulti.
I have ult.
I have ult, but I died. I had ult, but I
You would have gotten ult, I think, if you had just kept it on heal the entire time.
Cap the point.
Cap the point. Cap the point out. Stay on the point. Stay on the point.
What skill level is the Scrim? Probably pretty low. I don't know, it doesn't look too intense.
I need heal.
Coming.
Okay, I have my.
I don't really know how skill levels work in Overwatch. It's probably like a diamond-ish Scrim, if I had to guess.
They're gonna rush in. I think.
I don't have everyone's like there's no ranks here for me to tell you.
Right side also.
Yeah,
Ulting,
they're coming in.
ulting.
They're coming in.
That was a good ult.
Use your ult.
Monkey low. Monkey low. Monkey very low.
Reaper also there.
See, like you just got sound barrier, now you're at 40% again. So should a plat? I don't really know. I mean, in my eyes, diamond's not really that high either.
Nice ulti there.
I would expect people that know how to play competitive to be able to climb up at least to like low diamond. That might be an overstatement, but who knows.
Yeah, use McCree ult to distract. Okay, so
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like you play super passive, and I feel like you don't use your heals enough. Like it's weird because like you're on speed, but you're not contributing to fights much until they're like in your face. And then when they're in your face and you're at like 2 HP, you still stay on speed, like as if it's gonna save you. Like you can out heal
not landing shot.
a Winston's beam if you just switch to heal amp.
Comment if we can comment how many.
And since half their team is a Winston, like all they have is a Winston. I mean, you're never gonna out heal McCree, but
You go on the left, the same spot.
yeah, your team's not playing around the speed enough for you to.
Monkey in.
Winston behind us.
Array, one shot, bro. This guy McCree is damn low.
It's over.
Monkey's low. Zarya's low.
I am low.
Back kick. Who is alive?
You just need to run. Like, there's no way you win this fight.
Can we run a May? Thought of the May.
You're already at half your ult. That's really good. But you also just fed them a lot of ults. Like the Zarya's gonna have Graviton super fast now because you amped heals, and now the like you traded your 50% for their Graviton. Like this next fight, the Zarya is 100% gonna have Graviton already.
The monkey's low.
You're trying to heal your team right there. Like you're really slow to go help them.
The Zarya is fully
You
charged.
could have potentially saved your Reaper.
Fully charged.
Group up, guys. Group up, guys.
It's a lost fight for sure. The good news is you have your sound barrier, but you just fed them so much ult charge by taking that fight and not saving your Reaper.
Something.
Yeah. Because everyone's dying before even you go.
I'll check it to Reinhardt.
Now you're switching to Reinhardt after having a Winston. Like now you have no Earth Shatter at all, and you have no Monkey ult at all. So you really need a. You're not gonna win this fight. I guarantee it. This fight's just over for you. Like they're gonna have Graviton and they're gonna have Blizzard.
Oh, don't rush in.
Someone told
Monkey. Got the monkey. High noon.
You should be trying to bait that out. Like there's no way you win that fight ever.
Someone told speed boosting. I went in.
Yeah, but you need to shield us. We got caught in the 4-man, 5-man grab.
They ulted after you ulted. So yeah.
Silk is dead, wait for him.
I'll come back with truth.
No, we need to go together. You'll just
Comp wise, you guys are fine. You just need to get on that McCree, but you can't actually get on the McCree.
I'm with you, people. I'm right behind you.
74%. We gotta go.
But now you're still boned because you have trans and that's it. Like I guess you have your own Graviton. Like if you guys don't get a good Graviton right now, you're just gonna lose. But I feel like they should have yeah, they have Blizzards. Good that they ignored you.
Got to
So you guys got a triple kill with the net with the
kill the McCree on
Rav, but they're stalling the shit at this point.
There's a Zarya and a McCree alive, I guess.
They're still contesting. They're still contesting.
coming back.
You're not you have like no idea what's going on right now actually too. That's a really late transcendence, but I guess it doesn't counter anything. It's just a late trend.
Monkey on point.
You guys expended a lot to win this, and you're gonna get a second sound barrier just from this one fight, just by existing with your heals. Like you have sound barrier again. You guys used it
One behind us.
like one fight ago, and now you have it again because all you did was put it on heals, and your teammates played around you. Yeah, 38 pests is pretty bad.
Top all for the next fight.
I'll have in 20.
But they're gonna have Graviton again soon, and they're gonna have High Noon. No, they won't have High Noon. But they'll have Nano Boost.
Shield down for a blast, alright.
But you don't even, you need to like pay attention more actually to what your team's ults are. And like right now you're super flustered. Like you need to be more active right now, like using your wall ride. Like I don't think I've seen you wall ride the entire scrim.
The monkey pushed me.
Like you need to be more annoying for them to try to kill.
Don't know how that thing didn't hit them fucking not. He got bounced back twice in my charge.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you're not abusing your hero enough. Like you have a bop every like 4 seconds,
On the stairs.
and then you don't use your, like you stay on speed, but then you don't get in their face, and then when you stay on heal, it's like too late, and then you don't use your wall ride enough. Like you should definitely be wall riding to get in position to like see more, because you're like blind a lot of the time. You don't need to be playing on the ground ever as Lucio, at least on that last stage. Like you could have been up on the health pack just giving your team the aura, and it would have done just as much, and you wouldn't have put yourself in a position to get blizzarded ever. You could have just sat up top, and if a Winston comes to you, you just like try to push him off or something. But you need to worry more about your ults, and you need to worry about what your team has. Like you should be the one calling the ults because you're the Lucio player. I think the Lucio is like the best hero to play as main caller. But your positioning is like super passive all the time, and it just hurts your ult ability. Like Lucio's pretty survivable when he's in the back of a fight, like not super far in the back, but like back enough to where he's not gonna get jumped or where he's not gonna get insta killed. You can even take damage yourself to build your ult and like try to like eat spam from a McCree or a Tracer or a Winston or something just so you can get your ult faster. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you're just not abusing your hero. Like you're playing it like a bot like a heal bot as opposed to like its own damage dealing, ult getting, wall riding hero. Like there's more to Lucio than just the speed aura. And you can abuse the heal aura as well as like corners to your advantage to like try to spam people out as Lucio.